Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christine. Today we're just gonna be doing a nice sit down chat, a little catch up. You guys submitted your questions over on my Instagram stories. Thank you for doing that. I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can. A lot of them did revolve around the house, by the way. If you aren't quite up to date, Matt and I got a new house and we are over the moon. We're hoping we get to move in a couple weeks or so, but we're just in the process of painting it now. So a lot of questions around that, plenty of questions around marriage and more. So let's just get right into it. By the way, if I don't get to your question, I may be like saving up the response for a later video, or if there's anything I just didn't get to that you really want to know, ask down below. This doesn't have to be like the last Q&A for a long time. I intend to post more often and I'm really excited about that. So whatever you guys want to see, whatever you guys want to know, feel free to ask. Don't be shy. You guys hit me with some like good questions. We'll start with this one. What's the most important advice you'd give with buying a house? So as I was thinking this through, I feel like I could list out at least like my top 5 or 6. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys 2. So the first one would be to go ahead and get a mortgage pre-approval. Shop around for different lenders, just have that ready. I mean, it's best to do that anyway, so you know what you realistically can afford. My second one would be definitely, if you are planning to work with a real estate agent, work with a great one. Work with an experienced one. It'll make a world of a difference, especially in this crazy market. Matt and I were so fortunate to be able to work with my mom. My mom's been in the real estate industry for years now, and she definitely had our best interests at heart. How's your shoulder feeling and how are you doing overall? Thank you for asking. So for those of you who don't know, I experienced like the worst shoulder pain of my life about a month or so ago. I think this came about from moving and doing so much physical activity in a short period of time. And it was so odd. I still am not like 100% sure what it was. I thought I was gonna have to go get an MRI. It was like this like pulsating sharp pain. Didn't really dull down and go away until about a week later. That was like the longest week of my life, and I know I sound like I'm being extra dramatic, but it was just the worst pain. I did talk to a doctor friend and he suspects that it might have been bursitis. I didn't know if I had like torn my rotator cuff. I just didn't know like why it hurt so bad. But many pills of Advil later, we are all good. I can do this, I can lift my arm up again. I could barely move it at that time. Decisions on shutters. This is hilarious. So I will say, if you haven't watched our empty house tour, check that out. It's out. I'll link it down below. Probably link it somewhere up here as well. But I just pretty much gave you guys a tour of this entire house. And one of the things I mentioned was that there are Plantation shutters everywhere, and that I was on the fence about whether we should keep them or remove them altogether. And a ton of you guys said I should definitely keep them. And I will say, you swayed me. You swayed me quite a bit. Some of you guys made a really great point about how you could just hide them with curtains if I wanted, like just keep them open and then put curtains to the side of them. Can't do that with the sunroom because there's no room to be able to fully open the shutters, which is, you know, for someone who loves like having a lot of like sunlight and warmth coming in, it's a point of contention for me, but I'm still thinking through what we're gonna do with the sunroom. But yes, I'm glad I asked you guys. Do you ever regret your long YouTube break? What a great question. Short answer, no, I don't regret it one bit. Long answer, though I don't regret it, of course I missed you guys and I missed being able to connect with you guys more frequently. But yeah, I was in a state of flux, very vulnerable, you know, entering the workforce and having so much to learn. But I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for those opportunities. I feel like I've gained so much experience and skills that I feel are invaluable. So no regrets. How many houses did you look at? What were your must-haves in your house search? We looked at too many houses, a lot. I really wish that we had kept a record of exactly how many, but definitely upwards of 50 houses. We looked at so many. What were your must-haves in your house search? We had a ton of must-haves. I feel like I could name out an entire list. If that's something you guys would be interested in, maybe I feel like that could be a blog post or a video if you really want me to go in depth. But for me personally, one of my top must-haves was the house needed to be in a good location for the resale value. The house needs to be within a good school district. It needs to be in a sought-after neighborhood, etc., etc. So that was definitely one of my top, but there are so many others. For Matt, he wanted the kitchen to have a certain layout because for us, the kitchen is like the heart of the home. We spend a ton of time there. Matt loves cooking, and for the type of work he does, a lot of like production and content creation will also happen in the kitchen. So it just made sense. And I will say that one criteria of the kitchen having a certain layout, needing to have a large enough island or peninsula, filtered out a ton of homes. So I think that's why our search was as long as it was as well. What is your go-to Starbucks order? So I don't drink a ton of coffee, but the last drink that I got there that I did enjoy was the pumpkin cream cold brew. Even like the tall at Starbucks, that's too much for me. I would prefer to have like a quarter amount of that, and that would be enough coffee for me. Will you and Matt get a pet now that you have a new house? You know, the thought has not crossed my mind. I feel like we don't live too far from my parents, and being able to just see Sydney or watch after her from time to time, that brings me a lot of joy. And you know, having a pet, as you guys know, is like such a huge commitment. So yeah, but who knows? It could happen one day. Not a question, just want to say that I'm so proud of you. Proud follower since '07. Thank you so much. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Thank you for being proud of me. I don't know why you're proud of me, but thank you. And for just sticking around for this long. I hear from you guys pretty often that you've been like a longtime follower and subscriber, and that just means so much. Thank you for still being here. And for those of you who are new here too, I'm just happy to have all of you guys here. So thank you. Did you guys feel instantly that this house was the one? So happy for both of you. Congrats. Thank you. You know what? Okay, so if I'm gonna be real, the day that I looked at this house, I was in crutches. I had injured my ankle yet again, but I think it was the other ankle. I know, why am I, like, is my body breaking down? I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna hit the gym soon again. Anyway, so I was in crutches. It was a little bit of a struggle to get around, but I knew that the house was beautiful. I put in like a handful of offers on other houses before, but it didn't work out. So even though I like thought it was a really nice house, I didn't want to get my hopes up because it has been such a difficult market. How do you handle the never-ending question of when are you both going to get married or have kids? So the way that I handle receiving these questions is that I know that they're always well-intentioned. The only part of it that kind of bothers me is that I feel like you guys are always going to be disappointed with my response. And I hope you're not. I know that some people are gonna place a much higher significance and value on marriage, and I completely respect that. It's just not something that is a priority for me and Matt at this point in time. If it happens, great. But I do want to turn this question on you guys, and it's not meant to challenge you all, but it's because I'm genuinely curious. Why does marriage hold so much significance to you? Is it the commitment aspect? Is it because you just love love? Why does it hold so much significance to you? And I'm also curious to ask, would you find it inappropriate, for those of you who are married, would you find it inappropriate if someone were to ask you, if you and your, husband, wife, if you guys were to never have gotten married, do you think you would still be together today? Food for thought? Do you think that's inappropriate? I don't know. I don't think it necessarily is, but it's not one that I would feel compelled to ask. You guys see what I mean? Are you going back to YouTube? Miss watching you. Yes, I am back, and I'm really going to try my best to upload much more consistently. Even if I end up getting employed, I've told myself I want to make this work. And I'm actually really excited to tell you guys that I've been thinking long and hard about the type of content I want to serve you guys on here that I think you guys will enjoy and hopefully appreciate and find some value or interest in. And those categories are going to be around self-improvement. So whether that's like career related, fitness. That's like one category in itself. Another will be around making home, turning this house into our home. I just find that I naturally am gravitating towards like really enjoying talking about this, and I hope you guys enjoy that too. And then the last one will be around personal style. So those are the three. They are pretty broad, I know, and I think over time, if we do end up niching down, it's gonna happen organically, and I'm gonna listen to you guys and understand what it is that you really wanna see. So always let me know, leave requests. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please do leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.